If you had to ask me what the one makeup tutorial is that never got out of my head, it is the Jaclyn Hill Smoky Cat Eye, insert photo here. So we're going to recreate it in 2024. So I'm going to be starting out with some shadow shields. You can also use Scotch tape, which is what she used in her video. I just have these on hand. And basically this is just going to allow you to have a nice, crisp, sharp outer corner. And you're just going to angle it in whichever direction suits your eye shape best. After priming my eyes, I'm going to take MAC Brule, and with a large shader brush, I'm just going to pack that all over the lid. It's pretty similar to my skin tone because I'm pretty fair right now, but you can go as bright as you would like. You can do a matte white, which I think is what she did in her video, but this works for me. And I'm just going to apply that to the crease too lightly so it helps everything blend. So for the shadows, I'm just using kind of what I have. This is from the Natasha Denona Glam palette. This is the dark gray lash line color. And with a pencil brush, I'm going to start buffing that on the lash line. As you can see, I'm doing a thin line on the outer corner. This is why the Scotch tape or shadow shield is great, because you can be a little messy, and I'm bringing it about halfway in on the lid. As you can see, I keep looking forward in my mirror because you want to make sure this is setting in the right place. If you have any slight hood to your eyes, then you know sometimes it can look a little wonky when you do a wing, so look forward as well. Next, we're going to take the shade Wedge. This is the one that she used in her video. However, I have no fake tan on and I'm very fair, so it pulls very warm on me. So that is why my look looks warmer. So had I thought about that, I probably would have used a cooler tone brown, but it's fine. Basically what we're doing is we're buffing out the gray with this warm brown shade. And the great thing about these shadow shields is you don't have to worry about over blending because the line is going to be sharp regardless. So I'm just kind of buffing and buffing and buffing. So for me personally, I do have a lot of space from my crease to my brow, so I am going to put it a little bit into the actual crease and blend it upwards just to give me a little bit of definition, but you can just leave it on the outer corner if you wanted to. Once you feel good about that blend, we're going to take a matte black. This is Carbon by MAC, and with a pencil brush, we're going to start to create that wing shape. So I'm basically recreating where I put that dark gray. So I'm just very, very lightly putting it on the lash line and then putting it into the outer corner. The reason I'm using a pencil brush for this is because you don't want to fling the black everywhere. You want to keep it a little bit more controlled, and these brushes are amazing for that. One thing I am doing though is keeping this on the lid. I'm really not bringing it up into the crease. We're keeping it nice and low. Next, we're going to go back in with that fluffy brush and a little bit more wedge if you need it, and you're going to buff it out again. This type of look is pretty much applying the product, blending it out, applying the product, blending it out. So that's what we're doing because we want it dark and smoky, but we also want it nice and blended. Once you feel good about the blend, you want to re-intensify that black. So I'm going to do the exact same thing with pressing motions. I'm just going to repack that on to the lash line and the outer corner. And then yet again, we're going to blend it out. And again, I'm looking forward when I do this step because I want to make sure that you can see that cat eye wing shape when my eyes are open. We don't want it to have the bend. If you have hooded eyes or like a fold in your eye like I do, you know what I'm talking about with the bend of eyeliner? We don't want that. That's not cute. So once you get it how you like it, we're going to buff it out. You can use a little bit more wedge, or if you just want to use a clean brush, you can do either one. Just do whatever you have to do to get it to blend. And then you can remove your shadow shield and you have that nice crisp line. Next, we're going to take an eyeliner. This is MAC Feline Eye Kohl. You want an eyeliner that is not waterproof, quick drying, long wearing. You want something that is smudgy. This one is great. I think she used Smolder, but they're both great. You basically want to apply this into your lash line and buff it out. I'm using a short, like flat shader brush. And I'm going to take that all the way to the inner corner to the outer corner. And then I felt like my eyeshadows came out a little bit too far because they did. So I'm taking a clean fluffy brush and just kind of removing the outer part. Next, with a gel liner, this is the Melt Cosmetics Onyx gel liner. I'm just applying a line right at the lash line. So basically doing the pencil allowed this liner to have kind of like a smoky base. Then you're going to pop on your lashes. These are Tigress by House of Lashes. Then I'm going to apply that black liner into my waterline. I love me a black waterline. Next, you're going to take a pencil brush with wedge on it and you're just going to buff your life away. Basically what this is going to do, because we again use that more smudgy liner, is it's going to start to mix with the wedge and create kind of a cool toned brown, and it almost looks like you used more shadows than you did. So you can see it's getting darker and darker, but you're just going to keep buffing and buffing and buffing. And yet again, we're going to keep buffing. I am kind of taking it all the way to that inner corner as well as that outer corner. I have done my concealer, but I have not set it. That way, if I need to kind of touch this up, I can. Next, we're going to take the shade Embark. So she did this in her video to kind of warm up the lower lash line, and I really like how it kind of tied the look together. So with another flat shader brush, I'm just applying this all across the lash line closest to the lashes, and it just really tied this whole look together. And this is where we're going to do our final blending. So with a clean fluffy brush, or you can just wipe off one that you already used, you are going to buff everything out. I want this to be super seamless. I don't want you to be able to see where the eyeshadow stops and my skin starts. I want it to perfectly fade into each other. And I wanted to add a little bit of a highlight on the inner corner. So this is Rice Paper by MAC. Again, it's not much darker than my skin tone, so it's not super intense. I'm going to put that on the inner corner as well as the brow bone. I did apply bottom lash mascara, but once you do that, that is the completed look. I hope you guys like it, and I'd like to know, what is the makeup tutorial you think of when you think of OG makeup tutorials? Let me know in the comments.